NASA and SpaceX are going back to the future this morning with the first manned spaceflight launching from the U.S. in more than a decade. Both organizations are hoping this is only the start of a new phase of space travel, one where NASA relies on private companies to send astronauts to space. And Apalachin Native and astronaut Douglas Hurley, seen on the screen right here, is one of the astronauts that will be on board. Hurley is a 1984 graduate of Owego, Apalachin, and liftoff is set for this afternoon. And if all goes as planned, it'll be the first manned flight in a U.S. spacecraft from U.S. soil since the end of the shuttle era. Sarah Dolph has the story.
This morning, all eyes on the skies for the scheduled launch of a new era of U.S. space travel.
Truly an historic time from an historic pad.
Astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken will ride in SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule atop a Falcon 9 rocket, wearing sleek new spacesuits and using touchscreen controls. It's the first time in history a U.S. company will carry two NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, a mission complicated by the pandemic. About half of SpaceX's engineers have been working from home. Behnken and Hurley have been in isolation since March.
We have been in quarantine probably longer than any other space crew has ever been in the history of the space program.
The weather, another concern. The area saturated by storms leading up to the launch. Watchers hopeful the skies will clear and everything will be a go.
We have been praying. We have been crossing our fingers.
Caleb Golden asked to come to the launch for his birthday. He wants to be an engineer on future missions.
Because of how interesting and how the parts work and how everything fits together just perfectly where we can go to outer space.
A journey back to the final frontier, inspiring a new generation. In Cape Canaveral, Florida, Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
President Trump is scheduled to be at liftoff today. If it goes, he'll join Presidents Nixon and Clinton as the only sitting presidents to watch a manned launch on site. Stay with 18 News on air and online for full coverage of the space launch.